What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome back to The Breakdown, the series where I analyze gameplay to help you improve. In today's episode, we're going to be breaking down a gameplay from Stewart ssdd. He's a friend of mine, and this is some Black Ops 2 gameplay on grind. Let's get into it. Okay, so hopping right into the gameplay, he did get into this game a little bit late, and his team is currently being dominated, so he does have a little bit of a comeback ahead of him. Now that was just great awareness off spawn. When he spawned in, he didn't just sprint out into the open. That's a really common bad habit that I see people develop. He had a look at his radar, he saw there was a guy there, and he managed to take him out. Now here, he knows he has to push for the B flag, so he's pushing for that map control. He aims down sight before he comes around that corner, and he aims at the place where you'd expect enemies to be, which is a really smart play on his part. Now right here, he knows he doesn't have the advantage if he were to push out right onto the B flag, so he's waiting for his teammates to come up for map control. And this is really smart play here. He's using cover very well, trying to pick off some enemies and just wait for his teammate to come and help him out on the B flag. Now here, he almost gets this triple kill. He would have had it, I think, if he would have had maybe 2 more bullets left in the mag, but his aim was just a little bit off and he didn't manage to pick up the 3-piece. But that was still pretty good. Good play there. He was waiting for his teammates to push up and help him out on the B flag before just jumping on it randomly and hoping for the best. Now here, that was a great little play. Ducks behind cover and waits for the enemy to come to him. Waits for the enemy to come right around the corner with no cover, so that was really smart. Now right here though, he knows there's a sniper in that popular sniper spot. Should he challenge this? Not in my opinion. He should not be challenging this sniper, and the number one thing that he shouldn't be doing is what he did here. Instead of like maybe jumping out and trying to take that sniper by surprise or backing off completely and just taking a different route, he slowly peeked around the corner. Now I know he is using cover to his advantage very well here by peeking around the corner, but it's almost never a good idea to peek against a sniper, because a sniper is going to be aiming right where he expects you to peek your head out. So it's just an easy kill for that sniper. So in my opinion, if I was going to challenge that sniper, I would have maybe sprinted and jumped out of cover, making myself a really hard target to hit. Or I most likely would have just backed off completely and tried a different route, because that sniper has that area locked down and he has the clear advantage in that gunfight. So when he spawns in, I like that he doesn't go back and try and challenge that sniper. Instead, he tries a different route and he decides to push for that B flag. He's trying to play the objective. He wants to win this game. You can clearly tell that. Looked like his teammate had this area cleared because his teammate just came from there, so that was maybe just a little bit of a misread. It was kind of an unfortunate situation. It looked like that area should have been cleared, but it turns out there was still an enemy there that picked him off. Now here, I like that he's really focusing on this little sniper perch as he comes around this corner. He's constantly aimed down sight, and that gives him the advantage in that gunfight. He's posted up waiting for that sniper. Now right here, I want you to take a look at the minimap. His back is completely exposed. He did have a teammate that was out there, but that teammate just died. And instead of turning around and focusing on his back and locking that area down, he decides to focus forward to where his teammates are already aiming. So it's already kind of a safe zone. He should be turning around in this situation, but I think in the heat of the moment, he didn't quite see that his teammate that was behind him got taken out. So he kind of thought his back was safe in this situation. And as you can see, it clearly isn't safe. So as he spawns in, I want to point out something that a lot of people develop really bad habits with, and that is not paying attention coming off spawn. You'll notice Stewart, as he comes off spawn, he's ready for a gunfight, and he was totally prepared for that guy. Most people, myself included, will just sprint off of spawn trying to get back into the action, and they won't pay attention to enemies that could potentially be right outside of their spawn. So really good awareness there. Now, as he pushes towards the B flag, he pushes a little bit too aggressively, in my opinion. Right here, you can tell he's about to lose this gunfight. There's 2 enemies right in front of him. Look at his minimap. He's too far ahead of his teammates. He has no support at this point. He's sort of overcommitted. He's pushed, has no cover here, and it's very clear he's going to die. It would have been a smart move to wait until he had a teammate that had sort of secured that window to his right, sort of. And then that teammate could sort of help him out in these gunfights here. Put a few shots on these enemies, and then he'd have a much better chance of staying alive and pushing for that map control towards the B flag. Instead, he pushed way too aggressively. He is the only person that these 2 enemies have to worry about at this point, so it's very clear that he's about to die right here. Alright, so I'm going to skip ahead into the second round. This is his opening route for the second round. and he's pushing up along this side of the map. He's trying to get a flank towards the A flag, and I really like how he makes his movements here. He's checking his corners, and right here he comes up against a guy that looks like he's AFK, so he's not playing. He starts taking some shots really quick, and then he runs out into the open. Always treat people that are AFK, or like away from keyboard is what that means if you don't know. Always treat them as if they're still a threat, even if it looks like they clearly aren't, because they can come back to their controller at any point in time. So always treat them as if they're a real threat. Now backing it up just a little bit here, it was a little bit of a vision fail. It could just be the TV that Stewart plays on, I'm not too sure, but I clearly saw this enemy right away, and it took Stewart a second glance to actually see that there was an enemy there. It could be his TV, or it could have been just the fact that he wasn't paying attention and scanning for motion on his screen. So always be aware of motion on your screen. Now skipping ahead again, just a little bit, he's coming off a spawn right here, pushing towards the B flag. His teammates are pushed way up on the map. Now looking at the minimap right now, it looks like his left side is completely exposed, and it's very likely that an enemy would have gotten around on his flank on the left. This is one very minor minimap awareness thing, but I did notice this the first time I watched this video. I was almost yelling at the screen saying, look to your left, check your left, there's going to be an enemy to your left, just because that side is completely open. And it turns out there was an enemy that did come from his left flank, and Stewart actually used his gun skill to be able to beat this guy. He was able to turn, lay down and take cover, and then pop up and take him by surprise while his enemy was mid-sprint trying to chase him. So great play on his part, but he could have avoided that situation in the first place. Now as he pushes up past the B flag for map control, this is something that I don't see from him often, but he does get caught off guard and he sprints around a corner that he shouldn't have been sprinting around. Going around that corner, you should always expect an enemy to be there. It's a very popular choke point, so you shouldn't be sprinting around that corner ever. Now in this situation right here, he's pushing towards the A flag to capture that A flag since they don't hold a home flag at this point, and he wants to get a home flag held so they can hold a 2-cap, so they can hold a home flag as well as a B flag, which is the ideal setup. And right here is a little bit of an awareness fail or a minimap fail. He keeps looking where his teammates are clearly coming from. I know I say don't rely on your teammates too much, but in this case, he's looking where he has 3 teammates already covering that area very clearly. He should have been paying attention to his back in this situation because his back is completely exposed, and it's much more likely that an enemy is going to come from his back than from the area where 3 of his teammates are. Now, I know I've been skipping a lot through this gameplay, but I want to try and keep the episodes for this series under 10 minutes from now on for you guys. And coming up right here is a big mistake that I noticed, and I don't know what he was thinking here, but I don't know, it happens to the best of us, I guess you could say. So he picks up this pistol instead of reloading, and he decides to sprint right out into the open, right out to where he knows the enemies are spawning. Now, as he's in the open, he goes for the reload. There is absolutely no reason he should be out in the open trying to reload a pistol right here. He should have got all his reloading done in the safety of that building and then pushed out towards these spawns. But instead, he goes for that reload right out in the open, and obviously it gets him killed. But that's the last big mistake that I want to point out. I want to let you guys know that I'm still accepting submissions. Could be either Black Ops 2 or Ghosts for gameplay submissions. Keep in mind, I'm looking for sort of average to below average gameplay where there's a little bit of struggle going on. I'm not looking for exceptional gameplays, and I do need the gameplays to be at least 720p. If you want to send me a gameplay, then just upload it to YouTube as an unlisted video and then email me a link. My email address I will leave in the description of this video, and you can email me the link and I will have a look at them and see if it's something that will fit the series well. So if you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.